Is Haley potentially going to be available when you play Seattle? And I only ask just because I know she's from Washington.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just know that the update for she won't be playing today.
For sure.
So we'll let you know more.
And then for tonight, what are you looking to exploit?
To exploit?
Yeah.
I think it's less about it, what we're looking to exploit, and more about what more for what we're hoping for in terms of being more consistent than the last two times that we've played Phoenix. They've been killing us in transition, so we got to do a great job with our shot selection and our ability to get back on defense, our ability to take care of the ball. We obviously want to keep them off the offensive glass, but I think that the number one thing tonight is to keep them at bay in transition.
A question for you on Ariel. One of the things that I just noticed just from being around it is just a lot of the leadership that she does, not only just on the court, but just some of the things that I see that practice shoot arounds. You kind of just speak to some of the things that you've noticed with her in that area.
Yeah, she's really stepped up from a leadership standpoint. Whether she's been active or whether she was, during the time that she was injured, I think that she took a lot of the onus on her to be more of a vocal presence in the locker room and on the floor. And I think that that's really translated with the team. And there's a ton of respect there, obviously, for who she's been and what she's done in this league and who she is as a person. And I think that part of her coming to the Sky, there's aspects of her game that she wanted to elevate. And I think that being that vocal presence and that vocal leader is one of those things. And so we appreciate that. We've certainly have benefited from that, and she's been great in that role.
Yeah. And then I know that Alyssa asked earlier, just in regards to Angel and just all WNBA when it comes to defense, the job that she's done for you guys, whether it's like switching, jumping down on guards and so forth, and then what she did against Asia the other night. Just can you kind of speak just from your standpoint, just on just kind of what you're seeing there from her?
Yeah, she's I mean, she's got all the makings in the world to be a complete all-around player. And I think that the tools that she has, the physical tools that she has defensively, the natural instincts that she has, obviously with rebounding, but then also she's got a versatility to her that enables her to guard really 1 through 5 at times. And so we've been able to utilize that at different points throughout this season. She always, takes her matchup seriously, no matter who it is. And I think that we talk all the time about how much better our offense is when she's active and in the lineup, but our defense benefits from it as well. And I think that's just because of how active that she is. Again, it allows us to be a little bit more versatile defensively, whether we wanted to switch more or what have you. And so she's been great. She's been great across the board.
Coach, no secret the kind of year that Alyssa Thomas has been having this year, with her ability to do it all when it comes to her performance on the court. How difficult is that to game plan as an opponent?
It's extremely difficult because of the pressure that she puts not just on the rim, but the pressure that she puts on the defense in transition, her ability to be kind of a point forward. She's extremely smart. And I think that one of the things that I think gets underappreciated about her is just her ability and willingness to move the ball. Like you get enamored with the assist, but it's the ball movement and that takes place within the offense that just allows more motion and more movement with everyone else. And she still has the ability to get everyone else involved that leads up to the assist. And I think that it makes other players want to play with her, knowing that they're going to touch and see the ball pretty much every time down the floor. And then she's going to find them again. She'll get off of it early to get it back and to give it to somebody else. So she's an extremely unselfish player. I don't think what she does gets talked about enough in terms of like she's in the upper echelon of this league and has been for years. And I think that that she's getting her much needed and much deserved flowers, especially this year. And so she's great. She's extremely tough to game plan for because again, she provides so much. She puts so much pressure on opposing defenses in different areas.
Coach, it was a neat opportunity for All-Star fans to see Alyssa Thomas and Angel interact, and there's a really special bond between those two. You've talked about it before, but if you wouldn't mind articulating your opinions on that again. a very young superstar in your player and AT, that veteran, kind of looking out for those coming up behind her.
Yeah, I think that when you look at the top players in this league, I think that there's only one Asia, there's only one Fee, and there's only one AT, and I think that Angel is on her way to create. That there's only one Angel in a lot of respects, and so I think that there's so many different aspects of her game that kind of resemble and reflect what AT is able to do from the kind of a point forward esque type of game. But again, it speaks again to the versatility offensively and defensively. That we're seeing similarities in Angel's game to AT's game, and I think that also from a competitive standpoint is what separates those types of players as well. Angel loves to compete. She loves to win. She's has a history of winning over the course of her her career, and so I think that the AT is a perfect kind of role model for Angel in terms of what her game is now and what it can continue to be moving forward.
23 assists for your team on average over the last 4 games. And y'all have been preaching to move it all season long. It feels like the buy-in is starting to hit in terms of figuring out how to do it. Within all of that, there's a lot of Angel and Camilla passing to each other as well as their teammates. Can you speak to how those two, as playmaking hubs for your team, kind of unlock things?
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. I think that the spacing for us has been really good over the last few games, which has contributed to our ability to move the ball. We're not kind of jam packed on top of each other, and so when we're willing and able to cut and respace and maintain that spacing, when we're able to find pockets within the defense to get it to our bigs, whether it's on short rolls or deep rolls, and then collapsing the defense in the paint and kicking out, like that's kind of what we've been able to be really good at over the last few games. And I think that again, I spoke all season, our bigs have been great all year long at facilitating, and it's just been about our ability to get it to them in spaces where they're able to create for each other. I think that that the tandem that Angel and Camilla have had, or Angel and Elizabeth, or Elizabeth and Camilla have had, they've really been in sync with each other this later half of the season, I think, and for most of the season. And so I think that we've found somewhat of a consistency over the last few games in terms of how to play off of each other. That's allowed us to contribute to those assists, and then it always helps when you're when you're converting off of that as well. So it's a lot of components to it.
We have time for one minute.
With the passing, a lot of cutting from especially your front court group. Can you speak to how it feels like Elizabeth has been teaching on the fly with the rest of the front court and understanding how to take advantage of the attention that they get when they have the ball in their hands?
Yeah, I think that not just for us, but I think a lot of teams, you become predictable to guard when you're stagnant. And so I think where Elizabeth has been good at is setting an example of how to kind of play off of their team, read their teammates in terms of understanding how to create space and maintain space for everyone else. And so when action is happening on one side of the floor where she's away from it, how do I space myself in a way that allows me to be, to be a threat, but also not get in the way of the action? And I think that's where Elizabeth has been good at. And I think more often than not, that's where Angel and Camilla have been able to kind of play off of her as well and be good in making those reads.
Thanks, everyone.